Hello there, everyone. Welcome. I would say welcome back, but there is no back. Welcome to the new 1894 podcast with me, Annie. I'm sure Bristol City fans will be quite used to me. A bit sick on my face. But to the left of your right of your screen,
Right, boss.
is I've got Matiss from All Bristol Talk. So hello, Matiss. How are you doing?
I'm good. So yeah, I'm excited to start this 1894 podcast. We'll be joined with Dan usually as well, but he's unavailable right now. But as we get into the season, we'll have usually podcasts with us three. But yeah, I'm excited for the new season, and yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, so it'll just be, the usual stuff. We'll be talking about the games. We'll be talking about, in a transfer window like this, we'll talk about new signings, and generally just talking about Bristol City related stuff. And hopefully, you guys like it, enjoy what we do. I think this is a really good idea, a really good start concept, and hopefully we can kick on. And yeah, I think it'll be generally a good experience for all of us, all three of us. So yes, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you have tuned in so far. The first game is days away. I think five days away. We face, we face Preston at home on opening day, which is a good time to announce. This is what we'll be discussing on the bottom of your screen. It'll be ticking banner. So yeah, we'll talk about Preston. We'll be talking about new signings, 4 of them. We'll talk about Oxford at home in the cup as well. We'll be talking about pre-season. We'll be talking about what we expect from the new season, expectations, all of that good stuff as we discuss in pre-season. So, Matiss, tell me, what are your expectations going into the season? I know there's a bit of a vague question, there's a bit of a pressure question first up, but what are your expectations?
I mean, it's Nigel Pearson's last year on his 3-year contract now, and I think we've seen like steady improvement over the last few years. I think now there's a lot of optimism rising from the fans, and I think we have high expectations now going into the season. It's going to be a hard one though. We've got 6 new teams, 3 very established championship sides coming down as well. Like Leicester, it's going to be tough, but I can see us improving. I'm very happy with the signings we've made, to be honest. I think they've been very, very good from the side of Nigel Pearson and everything. But for expectations, I'd say we should be aiming to finish a bit higher, maybe challenging for playoffs. I don't see us reaching the top 6 just yet, especially this season, but moving towards that top half of the table is what I'd be expecting.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams in that kind of bunch, isn't there? I've done my championship predictions, and I initially thought, well, there's going to be a clear gap between the top teams and the bottom teams. It actually isn't as big of a gap as I thought, and there's a lot of teams in the cluster of I'd say 19th to probably about 10th who could easily finish anywhere in between. And we were, in my opinion, we're in that kind of cluster. We're in that gap, and it's going to be really hard for us to finish above all of them. But I think we've got the quality now. I think we've got the squad depth, and what we've got that some other championship clubs don't is a stable manager who's got a few years in his role. So yeah, I'd say pushing into the top half, maybe challenging for the top 8, just getting close to the playoffs is probably what I'd expect right now. In terms of that preparation, pre-season is all about preparation for the upcoming season. We've played 7 friendlies. I think so. Yeah. It's the usual clubs we played: Pompey, Cheltenham, Newport, all of that, around the southwest. So in terms of pre-season, I know we can't get too excited by it, but we are unbeaten in pre-season. Mm-hmm. But what are your takeaways from it? Any new players? How are the new players, who've come in, fitting in?
After watching some of the games and some of the highlights, I mean, we played 7 games. One thing that is a big standout is that all 7 teams were in the leagues below. We faced 4 League One teams, 2 League Two teams, and 1 Torquay United, but that was a replacement for Reading. So that was a bit last minute. We scored 33 goals, only conceding 5. So I think we've faced very well there. a player that I thought caught my eye, Jason Knight, one of our 4 signings.
Yeah.
I think he just looked brilliant in the midfield. The high press, he always intercepting the ball and then starting an attack. I think he could be very useful, especially if Alex Scott leaves now or in January. But yeah, I think the preseason has been useful, and I think well, we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves, but I think we're looking for a good season ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, you can't really read too much into preseason because we may have played our strongest side, but other teams may have not done that. I think all the 6 games up until the Pompey game, I think Pompey game was probably the game I kind of looked at and went, that's probably our biggest test because Portsmouth have recruited very well in the summer so far, some really top quality League One players. So that was our probably biggest test, and we kind of got there in the end. We won 1-0, so it's just a win, but didn't look as convincing. So as good as all the preseason friendlies are, when it came against Portsmouth, they played a pretty strong team. Anthony Scully and Christian Saidi all played, so some pretty strong players. So there was some concerns, but again, it's pre-season. You can't read too much into it. But yeah, for me, pre-season's all about getting minutes into legs of players who weren't probably playing as much in the previous year, and just generally just trying to get fit as possible for the opening game. So yeah, not many takeaways from pre-season that aren't unusual. New signings fitted in well, as you mentioned, Jason Knight. Ross McCrory wasn't available because he was injured. Hayden Roberts, for me, really impressed. I think him and Cam Preem down that left-hand side, it's going to be a real big question as to who starts.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well because I think it was a great free transfer to grab Hayden Roberts. He's a great youngster, and he's already looking like he could make the first team. I think Nigel Pearson would still take Pring over him for the start of the season, but I mean, from what we saw of him in pre-season, like some of those crosses and assists that he gave, one particular to like Tommy Conway, I'm pretty sure, on one of those goals. But yeah,
I mean, he really impressed at Derby last season. It was really, really good. And then we've got who's the other one we signed? I can't remember.
Dickey.
Rob Dickey, that's the one. He's been pretty good as well. So general takeaways are new signings fit in well. It looks like we'll be playing a high energy kind of high pressing team. Get on the attack as soon as possible, get into the opposition. Generally, make Ashton Gate a pretty tough place to come to, and that's what we're hoping to see when we face Preston.
Well, we obviously signed a lot of defensive players. I mean, because we needed them. We felt quite short near the end of the season. Now, Callas, I mean, I don't really know what's happening with him. He's been offered a contract, but there's been no news, and his time's running out. The season starts in 5 days, and we don't know where he's going to be. But I think Rob Dickey is a really good signing. He's experienced in the Championship. He knows what he's doing. I think we got a good price for him as well, and we needed that squad depth. But now after McCrory as well, he can play in lots of different positions as a DM or a wing back. I think we've got good squad depth, and I saw like a tweet like we could put 2 starting 11s out that are of decent enough quality to play in the Championship. I mean, I think goalkeeper wise, Max O'Leary, there's been questions around him as whether he's good enough for the first year. I think he's a good player, but I do think we need competition. We do have Steven Bajic, though, who came back from the loan, and his one cameo for us in that 3-1 loss to Lincoln was.
Yeah, that was a good way to announce yourself, as in, you're getting a loan move in January. You're not playing. What's happened to Joe Lowe, and now he's gone to Wickham, hasn't he? So it's all a matter of time. I'd say Stefan Bajic looks a pretty reasonably good enough player. He struggled a bit in Ligue 2, not even in Ligue 1, in the second division in France. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fares out. Probably our number 2. Probably, that's where he's probably going to stay. And if enough trust is put in him, he'll probably be a decent number 2. That's about it, though. You raise a good point about Max. I'm not overly convinced by Max, to be honest. Some of the moments he has in a City shirt last season, especially, I just wasn't fully convinced. His if you're comparing it to Dan Bentley, undoubtedly, better commander of the area. He'll come out for crosses much more than Bent. However, I'm just not convinced by his shot stopping ability. And if we're in a last ditch situation where we're 1-0 up in an away game, and they're putting the pressure on, and we need our goalkeeper to step up, I'm just not sure Max is that kind of guy. What are your thoughts on him?
I do agree as well. When that switch happened in late October last year, where we started to put
Birmingham away, that
3-0 loss. I think we do need competition. Realistically, I was sad to see Bentley go, but I mean, he had his debut against Man U, and he was amazing. I mean, that shows that he should not be with a club like us, and he's definitely Premier League quality. But hopefully Stephen Bajic will make some competition, and I've seen improvement with him, but I don't see us signing another goalkeeper, so I think we're just going to have to stick with him and see what happens. Yeah.
It is what it is. We've mentioned about expectations, and we've mentioned top half. We're generally thinking top half. Where do you think we'll actually finish? Because I thought in my predictions we'd come 10th, and that would be pretty successful season. Where do you think, in terms of a position? I'm pushing you here, but in terms of position, where do you think we'll finish?
I mean, I've made a thought as well. I have done a championship predictions with some people as well. I mean, it's pretty impossible, but you're right about how that, like, there's the cluster of teams. Like, I've watched some videos that they've put Hull in like 8th and some others in 16th, and like you can really mix it about and you don't know what's going to happen. Personally, I think we'll come 11th. I think we've seen steady improvement. We finished 19th a few seasons ago, then 17th. Now the most recent season, 14th. So there's steady improvement. I think we'll make another step towards that top half, and I think we'll show the championship. And I feel like we'll make Ashton Gate a hard place to come to. And I think with these signings, and if we keep Alex Scott as well, I think it'll be very useful. I'm not sure, there were a few bids rejected by Bournemouth and Wolves, but nothing that. So
nothing. It hasn't really developed afterwards, and we think Wolves are in a bit of a financial predicament where they can't afford the price we're paying for him. So hopefully he stays to the start of the season. I was actually thinking about this. If I think it'll be very interesting to see if Alex Scott actually starts come Preston, because if he isn't starting, then it's probably evident that he's probably going to leave. However, if he does start, you never know. He might actually be staying. So what are your thoughts on this all Alex Scott situation?
Yeah, well, there's 1 month left on the transfer window now. We've got him signed till 2025. Yeah. I think if he does stay, I think he's going to go in January, to be honest. But I think we could keep, but the way it seems right now, there's not really like massive interest in him. Like Bournemouth put in were they the ones that put 15 million? I mean, it was a bit
15 million plus add-ons, and it was instantly rejected.
And then Wolves put 2 in. Maybe they went up to like 20. Was it over?
I think it was 18 plus add-ons, and then they put another bid of 20 plus add-ons, which was again rejected.
But yeah, since their like financial situation, I think he could stay until January, to be honest. I think we
like a Semenyo situation where you stay, when you keep him till January, then you go, give us half a season, improve your value, and then we'll sell you. Is that kind of what you're getting?
It could go even because if he shines in these first few months, and we maybe like by Christmas we're in the top, I don't know, 10. I think he can push up his value, and if there are more clubs interested, then like mid-season they need some improvement in the midfield in the Premier League. I mean there were rumours around Inter Milan, but I think he'll go to the Premier League. but maybe bump it up to like 30 mil if a few more bids come in. But I think we'll get a decent amount of money for him.
In terms of how that money is reinvested, where do you think we need those additions? Because at the moment, I think we probably need another centre back. Especially if Thomas Callas goes, that's kind of still up in the air, and we probably definitely need another centre midfielder because we've got Andy King, we've got Matty James, Joe Williams, Jason Knight, Alex Scott, Cal Naismith can play there. We've sent a few people out on loan. Omar Taylor-Clark is pretty good there. I'd say we need at least one more body in there. Maybe a striker. Maybe.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying we need another out-and-out striker. I mean, before Andy Weimer was. I mean, that season where he got 23 goals, that was outrageous. But since then, I think we have an amazing attack in my opinion. But I think that there could be an out-and-out striker that should get us these consistent 15+ goals. But you released a video as well on Tommy Conway about how many goals could he score. I think the way he's improving, and our youngsters are the youth that we have coming through the ranks. I think he could be onto something this year. Naki Wells, I think he's got maybe a year or two left, in his to be good enough. But no, I think if our goalkeepers don't prove to be high enough quality, maybe we need to invest there. Definitely another centre back, because realistically we have Dickey, Viner, Atkinson's still injured, but he'll come back. And if we lose Callas, Naismith, but he's preferably in the midfield. And I swear, if we put Andy King at centre back again,
I will. I can't. No, I can't deal with that. No.
So yeah, another centre back, and when Alex Scott inevitably leaves, a centre mid as well. But I'm happy with the youngsters as well, and some new faces as well coming in pre-season. They went to Austria as well. Harry Leeson, he got 2 goals. He looked like a good fullback, and I don't know how to pronounce his name, Arioye.
Yeah, Raphael Arioye, something like that. Yeah,
he looks like a very good. It's centre back, right?
Yeah. He's tall. He's quite commanding, and if you look at our squad, apart from again Thomas Callas and maybe even Rob Atkinson, we don't really have a tall centre back who's good in the air. And we have Zach Viner, Rob Dickey. They're all kind of ball playing centre backs. So Arioye could actually be a really good asset. And if he fits in well, we probably may not even need another centre back in terms of spending money. I think Arioye might actually have a big part to play this season.
Yeah, and I think Sam Bell as well looks like he's going to get even better. I mean, his breakout season last season, everyone loves him as well. I mean, I saw him when I think our first signing was Dickey, and in one of the Robins Uncut on YouTube, you could see Sam Bell early on, he was the only player in the high performance center and in the gym and everything. And I think from preseason as well, he looks like he's going to have another brilliant season, and maybe we'll see some more breakout prospects from our other youngsters, which will be interesting.
He looks like he's ready to kick on. I think he's kind of at an age now where he's been patient behind Tommy Conway, but I think it's probably Sam Bell's time to kick on and push into the starting team and really lock a place there and make sure his value goes up, and that's beneficial to City. That's all we really care about. His market value goes up. We sell him. We get money for him. That's all we really. As awful as that sounds, and as mercenary as that sounds, it's the deal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So opening day is a few days away. Preston at home. We'll focus on that. In terms of Preston, we'll start with the opposition first. I'll give a nice little. I'll praise Preston a lot so that it seems like it's a tough game, and then we beat them 5-0, and then we're all we'll beat Manchester City with Burnley from last year. So Preston have actually made some good signings. I really like Mads Freuer Jensen in that attacking midfield role. He'll score goals. Will Keane is a good striker from Wigan. I think he's going to score goals as well there. They signed Calvin Ramsey, who's highly rated in Scotland, and then went to Liverpool. That didn't work out, so he's gone on loan to Preston. So some good additions there. Dwayne Holmes is obviously Huddersfield, and he's been good at Derby as well. So good additions, and I think Preston fans are probably expecting another stable season under Ryan Lowe. I think we can expect a tough defence because their defence last year was really good. Freddie Woodman in goal, Story, Lindsay, Hughes, and Patrick Bauer, all really good, centre backs. I think we can expect a tough game. I think we can expect a stubborn Preston. If you remember that run at the start of the season where Preston went like 8 games at the start,
nil
eight,
nils.
8-0-0s, 1-0 wins. It was ridiculous. They just didn't concede a goal. I think we can expect something similar. I think we can expect a very good defensive side. I think we're going to be relying on our wingers. Well, that's Mehmeti, Bell, Cornick, Sykes, and then we can have to rely on our creative midfielders. And if Alex Scott's starting, that's going to be a really, big thing in terms of breaking that defence down. So if we can get our creative players on the ball and create chances and give Tommy Conway the service against a good back three, probably have a chance. It's going to be tough to break them down, but I think we can probably break them down. We'll give our score predictions later, but Matiss, what are you expecting in terms of, what you expect from Preston and how you see this game going?
I think it's good that we finally have a home game for the start of the season. I'm pretty sure the last 2 seasons have been away.
Yeah.
So, and I think we're only like 1,000 seats away from selling out. So I think Ashton Gate is going to be packed, and I think there's a lot of optimism. I think the fans are really going to get behind the team, and I think there's going to be a great atmosphere. And I think with the way that we've started this season with preseason, I think there's a lot of confidence, and I think we will face well and win. I'm not sure about a clean sheet, but I think we will grab the 3 points.
They have got some good attackers as well, to be fair. They've signed, as I mentioned, Freud Jensen, Will Keane, Leighton Stewart, some good attackers. They've lost Daniel Johnson, who always scores against us, so that's good. But yeah, I think it'll be a tough game, but I think I expect us to, kind of move on from last season where you'd go, stubborn defence, they're going to lock us down, they're going to nick goal on the counter attack, and we're going to lose 1-0 or 2-0. I think we've moved on from that. I think we're much more I think we're a better side now. I think we'll progress and hopefully we get the win. In terms of your score prediction, what are you going for?
I think we won't keep a clean sheet for the first game, but like I said, I do think we'll win. So I'm going to go with a classic 2-1 win for the Reds.
Well, we actually won 2-1 against Preston last season, didn't we?
Yeah,
twice last season. Yeah, 2-1, twice 2-1. Rob Atkinson double. Yeah. So hopefully it's Jason Knight gets a goal, 90th minute in front of the South Stand. We all go mad.
That'll be great.
That'll be the perfect scenario. I'd see us winning as well. I think we come out the blocks very quickly. I think we start fast, and hopefully that's enough to get us over the line. I'll also go for a 2-1 win because I expect Preston to also start pretty strongly under Ryan Lowe as well. So we move on from Preston. We'll talk about Oxford. Now, Oxford in League One side last season, actually been League One side for quite a long while. They've recruited pretty well so far in the window. Ruben Rodriguez has come in from Notts County, who I really like. I think he should have probably gone to the Championship, if I'm being brutally honest. So a lot of good things going at Oxford. They narrowly escaped relegation last season, but I think they can improve quite a bit. In terms of the EFL Cup, depending on how Preston goes, if we lose quite badly and don't play well, I think we might actually stick with a strong squad. If we play brilliantly against Preston and win, I think we might go with a rotated squad, just so to match morale, give some players a rest, and generally just to boost confidence in a lot of different areas of the squad. So I think this might be a game where we expect to win. I think we probably do win, but I'm not.
Season as well. I forgot what the score was though. Did we won 4-1 or?
What, Oxford pre-season?
Yeah.
I think we did win 4-1. I can obviously check. I think it was a 4-1 win. Yeah, and it was 4-1 win. So yeah, we have obviously beaten Oxford in pre-season, but it's pre-season. Again, can't take much from it. But hopefully that carries on. And I think we probably get through with a weakened squad, which will be a really good result. But as I said, it's the cup. I'm more focused on the league this season, making a proper push. It was lovely to have an FA Cup run last season where we, got Man City, and it was all really good. It was all fun. But if we can, if we had a League Two side, bottom end League Two side, I would have gone, you know what, try and get a win with a weakened side. But as it's Oxford, who are pretty good in League One, I think we might, we probably do win, but I think we'll struggle. So, I think we get through. I'll go for a 1-0 win. I think we might scrape. I think we might scrape it. What are your thoughts and your score prediction ahead of this game?
I think we'll win as well. I think, we played them in pre-season, and I know that doesn't mean a lot, but we know the team quite well, and I think it's home as well. So I think if we do play well on Saturday, I think that will still be some good atmosphere. Score prediction, I think we could keep a clean sheet, and I'm going to go with a convincing 3-0. I think
you think we'll battle? You think we'll battle them?
We can batter them. I think we'll have a strong start to the season and in the cup.
You think we play a weaker squad or a stronger one against Oxford?
I think we rotate a bit, but I think we play still a relatively strong squad. Because if we win 2-1, we just about get like maybe a last minute against Preston or like a scraping win. I think we do play a decently strong team because we do like to have a good season in the cup as well sometimes. I mean, that last season was great to face Man City. I mean, the atmosphere was great. I mean, what a game it was. I just wish we scored 1 goal at least.
Yeah, no. Do you remember that Sam Bell chance where he went through on goal? Now, I was so convinced he was going to score.
We had a couple chances as well. I mean, we can't keep going on about that. I mean, it will happen.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We already had one great cup result in the past decade. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll get off to a strong start. I think we'll embed the new. I think it's very, very good that we've got the business done very early in the window. We've for some people we've gone a bit quiet. Since Jason Knight signed. But you've got to remember Jason Knight, Ross McCrory, Rob Dickey, and Hayden Roberts have all properly settled in now. They've played all the pre-season games, basically all of them.
Exactly. That's what I like about early signings. Like, all of them other than Knight also went to Austria. I'm pretty sure. Was that maybe McCrory?
Maybe I don't think McCrory went. Yeah. I don't think McCrory did.
Dickey and Roberts did. I think they settled in well, getting to play with the team, getting to know the players. I think four signings. I'm happy with that. I don't know if we'll make another one in the next month, perhaps, but
I think we probably will. To be fair, I think we probably will.
Hopefully we will. But if Alex Scott leaves, then we'll want to see.
Yeah, it's all about Alex Scott, isn't it? It's all about his money and what we can do with that money. But yeah, generally, I think we're feeling pretty positive about the new season. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think I'm optimistic as well. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I think we can see some solid improvement, and I do hope to see Nigel Pearson stay at the end of this season. Like, looking forward to that. Yeah. But I think
we'll talk about that in a later video. Yeah.
But yeah, transfers out as well. I mean, we lost Jada Silva to Coventry, which is quite sad. But he was a great player, but it happens.
Honestly, I'm not overly bothered by it. I think he'll do well for Coventry. I think he really will. I think we've recruited. We've now signed Hayden Roberts, who I think is an upgrade, and I think Cam Pring was always going to keep him out of the side. So I don't think I'm too bothered by De Silva leaving.
And then Kane Wilson, what a kerfuffle in the last year. I mean,
that was a weird one, wasn't it? That is a weird one. Yeah. I don't think we got a transfer fee for him technically, but. Yeah. They lowered the price for Jason Knight because we gave him Kane Wilson. So, yeah.
It's a shame, but I mean, it happens sometimes. And then who else? I mean, Masengo left. That was inevitable from when he went on loan. But I
think the quotes in January by Nigel Pearson where he said, "I don't think we're going to see him again." was pretty evident. Yeah, it's another shame because he's a really talented player. You can see that he's a really talented player, but he's not, going to fit in. He's seemingly just didn't want to fit in and didn't really play well for us enough to earn a new contract.
It's just a shame to lose
what it
like
is.
players for for free. But we would get compensation if he goes to the Premier League. But he did reject Burnley's offer, their contract offer for him, which I'm not sure how much we'd get.
I'm just not sure how many more clubs he can go through and reject before he eventually goes. Actually, you might have to accept this one. It is what it is. He's moved on now. We've moved on. We've signed Jason Knight.
Yeah.
We're probably in a better place with Jason Knight than Hanno Sengo. It is what it is. But generally, both of us are feeling pretty good about the upcoming season and the first 2 games. I think we're feeling that we can go out there and win them. And generally, I think we're in for a pretty good season. What do you guys think? You can let us know in the comments section below. That'll be great bit of insight. Thank you guys very much for watching this podcast.
It's available on Spotify and Apple as well. If you guys,
yeah, it's all available on Spotify, Apple. But if you've made it through this first 31.5 minutes, I suggest you calm down and probably not go on Spotify and Apple. I think you're fine watching it on YouTube. We're probably satisfied with that. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Follow us on Spotify, follow us on Apple. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Subscribe on here if you have enjoyed this so far. A lot more of this to come up. And we've got another insight and one more person to join the crew, Dan, who will be joining us in future podcasts as well. So we're all very excited by this. Thank you guys very much for watching. Keep safe. Matiss, say goodbye.
Thank you guys. See ya.
See you, everyone.